This is Deb, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the diversity dilemma article and also about the cold calling technique. It was very interesting reading the diversity dilemma article because I work at a school in Elkhart, in the lower income area of Elkhart, and they used to have uniforms at the school. And I was curious about that when I first started working there. And they said, well, it's because they talked to the parents, and the parents wanted the students to have uniforms. And the parents wanted fairly strict discipline, and the parents wanted to teach very basic core subjects. All of this is very much in harmony with what the article said is a belief system among the people that are in more inner city environments. And I thought back and I thought, the interesting thing though is so many of our teachers are really trained in more of the progressive methods. And I know we've had teachers that have used flexible seating and have tried all kinds of innovative, creative Montessori-like approaches, and they haven't really produced the results. Now, what we are doing that's producing results is professional learning communities, PLCs, where the teachers are gathering very intense data on the students and identifying where they're having specific problems. So as I reflect, it is going to definitely be a challenge as we try to bring more people together in our schools. We've done that to a certain extent by bringing our high ability population of young people into our school. And we're doing what the article suggests that we do, is to have them participate in areas like science and music and the arts and PE with everyone in the school, but not necessarily be in the same reading groups or the same math groups. So I think that the article is definitely onto something. Although I think, again, when you're dealing with two very different groups of parents, it's going to be a real challenge to try to bring together these very diverse viewpoints. And I'm not sure what the answer is, but I thought the article had some very, very good insights as to what some of the problems are. I loved it when the one researcher said that after all this intense training and differentiation, that teachers basically weren't doing it, that it was so hard to implement and so challenging to try to teach different levels to different children at the same time, that it just basically was not working as an approach, even though it might be otherwise successful. So I reflected that when I first learned about differentiated learning, I thought, that sounds very, very challenging. And it turns out that other teachers feel the same way. Then with respect to the cold calling, that was very interesting to me because it sort of turned around some of my thinking about it. I had always thought of it as being perhaps not a technique to use with my students, except for very, very, very much things that are based on opinion rather than factual answers, because of really overwhelming the students and feeling like that they would be put on the spot or be embarrassed or then feel really badly about the whole classroom environment experience. And in hindsight, I realize now that if you prepare the students properly for that culture, they realize that everyone's going to be participating in it. And you start the way the teachers showing the method did by encouraging them, letting them know that you value their opinions, and by making sure that everyone understands that it's quite often that you'll get something wrong, but it'll help other people learn from the process. I think that has some value. And I don't have too much difficulty getting students to participate in art because so many of my questions that I ask them are opinion based, like what do you think about this, or what do you see in this painting? And for that reason, they're not usually just sitting there completely quiet, but I've never thought of actually going around and calling on them to try to encourage some more students who have deep thoughts to go ahead and give it a try, even though they're not usually the ones to raise their hand. So I would say that that article has definitely intrigued me, and I'd like to give a try to the process and see how it works in an art room setting and see what happens. Okay, thanks.